Hey, we got the 450 back. Got the Dodge sitting over there. We got LP right here. LP, what up? Talk to the people.
Morning. We're going to TKM.
TKM. Why did? All right, it's TKM Performance. Why do we call it TK&M?
We have a buddy that's how he pronounces it.
It's like college, like Texas A&M.
Yeah.
TK&M. But we got to take some stuff up there. I got to fix some stuff that I messed up, and we got to get just like a health check on one thing. So if we go over here, guys, listen. I know the shop's kind of dirty. We're reorganizing one toolbox there. We were doing what would you call this? A catastrophic brake failure.
Catastrophic brake and hub failure.
And hub failure on the Mega Cab. We were messing with that yesterday. Old Travie Patty was over here with that. Got us a new flat top. Big flat top guy. Big breakfast guy. 36-inch griddle with hood. Dude. Oh God, Logan almost shit. It is a frigid day here in North Carolina. Chilly. Yeah, big flat top guy. Broke my back. Is your back broken from last night? Ha! Gay! Well, it sounds kind of weird, but this thing at about 7 o'clock, we tried to put it on the flatbed, whooped my ass.
Our back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or well, what portion?
Spinal.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it was that bad. It was that bad. You guys saw that in yesterday's video. So what we got going on today, I got to take this block here up to Kevin and see if we can get him to fix the crank, because I knocked the first 2 threads out of the crank by pulling the balancer off. So we're gonna take that up to Kevin, see if he could fix that. And then I got the disassembled block that Matt and I took apart, that 408. We're gonna take it up to Kevin. He's gonna wash it out. We're gonna bring it back here and get it all assembled. And then what else? Oh, we gotta have a crank. We have an LS7 crank that we need to cut the snout off of a little bit to make it run with like an LS1, LS6, LS3 style balancer. I think that's all we got. I think really that's all we got. So we're gonna get the engine hoist. That Johnny right there is too heavy to pick up. We ain't doing it. Bro, that sucker, it's got a whole rotating assembly in it and a cam.
Okay, it's definitely lighter than the iron block we just done.
Oh, I guarantee it's lighter than the iron block, but I just got spinaled by a Blackstone yesterday.
I broke my back.
I don't know if I'm prepared to spinal myself again. Logan's got heart. He picks that motor up with heart. Because this thing whoops my tail. We are back.
I am back. What it do, baby?
We got Cornbread and Sammy in the video. I got some junk for you guys.
You didn't find a better place to dump this off?
Right here. Right here.
We're excited.
So, all right, let's get started right over here. I already talked to
this cam.
Yeah, listen. This one here, not my finest work. I was pulling the balancer off of it, and I could
the dampers, by the way.
The dampener and factory OEM shit. So I was just trying to get it off. Couldn't find the tool for the puller, so I stuck a socket in the crank, and I thought it was hitting the bottom of the crank, but it was a tapered socket. It was actually hitting the threads. So then I crammed the puller in there, and it started spinning.
Send it home.
I got the balancer dampener off, and now a bolt.
You got a GoPro 10.
Dude, thank my mom. Thank her.
Mom, you did it.
We're mainstream. Look at it. You can see you now.
It looks like we 2021 now.
Ain't no threads left. Well, I don't know if there's threads.
Where did you get this motor?
From Turbo Bullet.
Logan?
No, this is the Logan one.
Logan, I feel like he got you.
You know
I
what?
feel like Logan
Logan's
got
my
you.
boy though, so if I'm gonna get got, I'd rather be got by
He
Logan.
got you.
So this one here, I was wondering if we could fix it with everything still in there and not pull it all apart. Like just run a tap down it. I don't know if just the first couple
I'm
threads.
sorry. Come back, you broke up.
I don't know if I messed up all the threads or just the first couple.
No, you lost me on leave it together and fix it.
Yeah, just run a tap through it.
We need an expanding tap. We could make it small, go in, expand, and then pull her back out.
I like where your head's
$1 million
at.
idea.
I like where your head's at.
Which one? Where we at?
All right, you got here. You hold this for a second. Let me.
I ain't never really videoed, but
Let me move some stuff around here.
damn,
Oh,
that
God,
boy
I
been
think
working out.
I think I got the deck, bro. I think I got the deck.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. So this one here is the one I got from Logan. God dang.
Man.
He didn't have anything he lighted.
So it's got all this shit, which I don't think like. Would you say that is assembly lube or that's just grease?
That's axle grease.
Yeah. So made the executive decision to pull it apart because it had axle grease in it.
Wow. What's it smell like?
Taste it.
It smells like, I kid you not,
That's actual grease.
it's literally Rotella. It's the same stuff I put on my trailer axles.
It is.
So,
Literally.
damn, you look.
I'm pretty good with this.
Can you handle that?
Yeah, I got another website. I've been good with the camera on.
Michael, please.
So, I'm just trying to, I still got the bearings in. I got the mains too. It's got ARP main studs, but I don't think they line honed it. Is that an issue?
You put it together with the studs and measure and see if it changed the roundness or changed the size, and then you can go from there. Some it has changed. Aluminum blocks, it will change a lot. Coyote stuff, it really
But
changes
there
a lot.
are occasions where you put them together and not line hone it with the main
but
studs.
you still measure everything.
Yeah.
Measure the roundness and all.
Yeah.
So there is cases where you don't have to line on.
We check each
hole.
bore, set them all up, check them for roundness and size, and then put all the bearings in and compare it to the crankshaft.
That's the man that told me how to do it.
Good Lord. There he is.
I heard that.
We got all the bitches in there.
Come on. All right.
Look at that.
So
grease.
this was my concern, right?
Look at the grease.
This is my concern. I don't know how to listen. I'm not a big
Pull it
engine
straight
guy.
up. There you
It's packed in there.
go. Yeah,
So
It just needs to be washed and measured the clearance and stuff. Measure the clearance. You brought the crank? Which crank?
I brought the crank right here, and I bought.
Wow, I know what crank it is. But I mean, how long has it been together?
So it got put together like a year ago, and then it just sat around. We actually bought it off Turbo Bullet all put together. So now
Well, at least that way it didn't rust.
That's a man of the hour right here.
Whose truck is this? Your truck?
this is my truck. Yeah,
What do you use it for?
hauling
Just
ass,
hauling motor on.
hauling ass a little bit.
Boy, it's a truck, ain't it?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Man.
Look at that hitch.
Oh, I know.
That'll take your leg right off.
Now,
Not
I
even your
think,
shit.
boy, you know, I don't believe it. My balls one time was bigger than that.
I guarantee it.
They swelled
I
up.
guarantee it.
They swelled up. I
Yeah.
tell you what, damn truth.
Like
boy.
some cantaloupes.
You talk about something hurt. I'm telling you.
That's where the truck nuts came from.
Yeah, that is. Sammy, what'd you think about the crank? Can you tell which one it came out of?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like everything, it's got like it's just
It
got
needs
grease.
to be washed.
It's got
man.
grease packed.
We can wash it.
Yeah.
We'll measure the bearing clearance. We'll measure the housing bore. we'll measure the bearing clearance.
We'll take and hook us a rope right here. We'll throw it in that damn pond.
Yeah, out there.
And
It'll
drag
clean.
her out.
And then it'll be clean.
Clean. As a worsel.
Well, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm assembling this today at my shop.
Today.
Why wouldn't you
Tonight.
assemble it today here?
Tonight. Well, I didn't bring all the stuff.
Oh.
I brought one piston. And
So we gotta do this now?
I was just hoping we just get a nice little bath. Just rinse it off, and I'll take it back.
Out here bullshitting in the cold.
All right, I'm gonna get it in there. So that's it. Look,
I'll
the
meet
look
you
on
in
there.
there.
Turn the camera around so they can see the look on your face.
Come on.
All right, we'll go into where it's warm. So we got the LS1 on the operating table here.
LS1.
Let me check
Yeah,
it
this
out.
is-
Let me see. Yep, it's
Sammy can maybe get a tap and see if we can check that out.
I-
Because that's all this deal needs, right?
Yeah, it's just the I can't put a crank bolt in it.
Our man's gonna do it.
I was gonna weld it on there with the balancer dampener, but yeah.
No.
This was supposed to be a
Oh, this was in the Fox that you got with the twin.
No,
not
the
the
new
Fox
Edge.
body, the new Edge.
Hank.
With the tank, Hank the tank.
yeah. Yep. And you know what? Now that you guys are working on the stuff here for Hank, you know what that means? TKM door sticker. I'm gonna get it like skin colored, like beige, so it matches like Hank off King of the Hill skin.
No, that man, he gonna get it.
All right, so over here.
You always just show up and get your stuff worked on.
Listen, a lot of people are gonna get mad at me, but
it's because of YouTube.
It's because of YouTube.
Yeah.
It's solely because of YouTube.
I figured.
We'll go through these passages.
I'm just saying, if you need a LS engine plate,
Look at that, it's already set up for
forward-facing
forward-facing headers.
wheel and plate.
Very nice.
Got a stack of them.
You guys
on deck.
You guys got a bunch of good stuff around here. Valve covers, motor plates.
Who needs it? You know what I mean?
God dang. All right, over here with the old trusty turbo bullet motor. What are your thoughts?
It should be all right.
If we actually just ran it, didn't take it apart, and tried to fire it up with all this stuff in there.
I mean, eventually the oil would push through. Eventually. I mean, after the bearings are spun in it.
When we measure everything up there, we'll wash it. You got the mains and the caps?
Yeah. Let me grab them. I'm gonna grab them right now. Can I get a shirt? And then I'll start work. I'll clock in and we'll start working. All right, boys. What do we got going on?
Boys, how big they drove in? Where you from?
What do we got going on here? Just what's the process for checking the line home?
Yeah, we clean the pads. We'll run over the pads, make sure they're smooth, set the studs up, torque everything, and then set the dial bore gauge up, check up and down, roundness, and then we'll measure that crank, which is now cleaner.
Look at that.
Look at that. Hot Rod did it, boy. He ain't no joke.
Look at that. Look at that. Damn, you can knock that all damn old galleys.
Yeah, look at that. Fresh, clean.
We don't keep the bearings in this one, right?
That pond water was cold, I guarantee it. And then we see how the housing bore is, and then we will measure the crankshaft, put some bearings in there, and see what actual bearing clearance is. Now, those bearings are, these are used bearings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a P. It's a real soft bearing.
Don't like that? Not your preference?
Now, what we would use would be Levites.
God, look at all the bearings. You got them all in stock.
21.99 H's or HX, depending on where the housing bore is. And, well, how much? What are you looking to make power-wise?
If I can make 1,000 to the ground, I'd be happy. We're doing twin 66mm turbos on E85. But if, you know, that's kind of where I'm looking. That's kind of where I'm looking.
So we're kind of shooting for a target. Should I say? I don't know.
Don't say it. Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing.
So,
but without any of this stuff right, you fire a motor up, you start using it, you're gonna have some issues.
yeah, because you don't know where it's at. It could be really tight. It could be really loose. You
Now,
don't know. You have to measure.
I did this whole like video series on trying to be cheaper than just go out here, call up TKM, just say, hey, I need a black sheep engine package. In the long run, I'm spending more money. It's costing me more. It's costing me more time. I got to go and redo things. You guys have to go and redo stuff that's messed up, where if I just called up here and said, hey, John Boy, I need a TKM Black Sheep Stage 1 package, short block. Yeah. It'd be ready to go. Like, it'd be in the car and build a turbo kit.
Well, people build motors and they get by with not checking bearing clearance, but that's the first thing that's going to die if it's wrong. If it's really tight, if it's really, really big. This is like the heart. Your bearing clearance is the heart of the motor, so you gotta know.
And I have no idea who put this together, who assembled it, what machine work they did. It's,
Right.
You're literally, it's a gamble.
Right. It's a gamble. So,
And this time it didn't pay off.
Guys use plastic gauge, but it's really terrible. You have a 3,000ths mark, a 1,000ths, a 3,000ths, and then 10,000ths. So
Yeah.
you don't know where you're at. And it's, we use dial bore gauge and mics for everything.
So
that's the only way to do it.
Learn from my mistake. Save yourself the time. Save yourself the heartache.
Well, and there is so many bad, good motors for sale that are terrible when we get them.
That's what this one was. This one was a 408 iron block.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Set it in there and make some power. And here we are we set it on the table here to make some corrections.
Yeah, this is the operating table.
Yeah.
And my surgeon just walked in, Zach.
Oh.
You had some buggered up threads on that one.
Literally can't have nothing nice around here.
Nothing. Nope.
But in other news, look at this cornbread. Y'all got me straight already. I was gonna leave this here.
Tell them what we did. Ran a tap in there. Sammy tapped that ass.
Fixed, just like that.
Yep.
Taking it home.
So wherever you got in there and just boogered up that first thread. But you did good, not just sending her home with a new bolt.
I tried. I'm not gonna lie. I tried. I had that thing on a 1/2 inch impact, just hammering it. But I ain't good like that.
Luckily, it wasn't too bad. So Sammy was able to run a tap through it.
So now
you take this old girl back home.
Put it all back together, backup motor.
What's your bearing clearance?
All right, so we got the mains in there.
So the mains are on. Everything's toward Molly Lube, toward to spec, ARP spec, whatever. So when you get in here and you're measuring it, everybody, I'm sure everybody on the couch will know how to read this dial bore gauge because they could tell us how to do it all. So you're a couple tenths off here. You know, we're shooting for 0. But then you jump into this hole. So say you got 3/1000ths on one bearing on this hole. Well, then when you come to this hole, you have more, you have less.
So essentially it's wavy.
Yeah, well, it's just not straight. Now this one's a little more in line with this number 3 is a little more in line with this number 4. You know, checking each side. And then you're gonna come over here to this other side because my tool ain't long enough. And you see we're on the other side, of the 0. So essentially there's 1/1000th spread from end to end on your housing bore. Look, that one's the exact opposite, right? That's a 1/2 tight. So this one's a 1/2 big. This one's a 1/2 tight, few tenths tight. The problem is we get them all the same size. We can measure the crank and we'll put a bearing in here and we'll see where we're sized at. Well, whatever you are here, you're completely opposite here.
So what does that mean if you were to stick one bearing in there? One's gonna be tight, one's gonna be loose?
One's gonna be tight, one will be loose, one will be all right, one may be perfect, but in the end, it's just bad machine work. I mean, that's all it comes down to is old boy running the line home didn't really care that day and popped it because it has been line home. I mean, you can see the crosshatch, and that's not from the factory. That's whoever done this motor has popped the line home a little bit, but they just really didn't know a whole lot of what they were doing or cared, and that's what we see daily is terrible machine work. So Zach line homes every day. He can fix this thing. He can make these all 2 sides. Or we'll, you know, generally we'll run an LS a little bit bigger, and then we'll set our clearance with whatever bearings we want to use. But my opinion, this needs fixed. I mean, yeah, you could throw an HX in this thing and just say you was 3/1000s here, 3.5 on the other ones, and man, it would run. Yes, it'll run, it'll drive, but you got it at the machine shop. Fix it.
Fix it, make it right. I mean, back to the same thing. Call up here, get it done right the first time. Here we are, I already paid, I already had all this stuff done. Essentially, whether I got it, you know, a little cheaper online, I paid for all this stuff.
Right.
Now here you got to get it redone.
Well, it just goes to.
If this ain't the perfect example of learn from my mistakes.
This is a perfect example. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like I say, you're 1/1000th difference from this cap to this cap and all in between. You know, would it run? Some people just throw a HX in it and send it. And don't even check the bearing clearance, just hope we got enough and it works, and it may not never tear up. But we aren't gonna let something leave like this. I mean, this ain't gonna happen.
That's why I brought it up here. Listen, I'm done. This is my last motor I'm buying offline. This is it. This is it.
About time.
Okay, so people see these motors for sale, and then they say, all right, well, it's got a nice set of heads on it. It could even be a dart block or an LSR block, LSX block, and they're like, man, this is a good part. It's got a good crank in it. Once you bust it down, you check the guides are wore out in the heads. it needs a valve job. The surface is terrible. Then you get into the block. Well, then the crank's cut 20. The line hone is horrible. It's got bearings in it that you can't get right now. 20 over bearings. Then you measure the bores. Well, it's got 10 thousandths piston wall. In the end, you didn't buy them.
No, you got a bunch of junk.
You got a bunch of junk.
Just think about the time.
Yeah.
That I've been messing with this. I've messed with this for 2 weeks, and look, I'm here.
So in the end, you have a bunch of junk that needs the money that you paid for it and put back in it to fix it, instead of just calling up here and buying a motor, man. Buying a
This
nice
is not. This is not planned out.
Not just call TKM and get a motor. Call any shop and just have a motor built.
This is not planned out. I didn't like buy this. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna buy this, and we're gonna see how wrong it is. I bought this in full anticipation to put heads on it and put it in the car.
Okay, so honestly, look, this is Zach's line up here that he's got the line hone. Like, we're not just line honing this for YouTube. In my opinion, it needs to be fixed.
It needs to be fixed.
We got plenty of stuff to do. Like, we're not just trying to dig up extra work. We got plenty of stuff to do. And this is just thrown in, and you know, we'll get it right for you right quick. I mean, it'd take him an hour. We'll get it right, and then you can take it back with you, and it'll be good.
You know, I learned my lesson. This is my last slap on the wrist. After this, I'm not buying no more shit unless I just buy it right from here, all done, turnkey.
Well, and we have customers that buy used motors, and they're like, man, this thing's badass. I just want y'all to check it out.
Is it the same thing every time?
This is part of 90% of the time. This is part of us checking it out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, if you buy a motor from me, it's gonna be right because I've done it. I've checked over everything. I'm gonna sell it as fresh because that's what it'll be. But man, you don't know what you get.
You really
You know
don't.
what I mean?
From what I've learned, I'm 0-5 right now. It's a gamble, and I've yet to get the one. I've yet to get on the board. I'm 0-5. So, but thankfully,
and I know there's plenty of people that are like, oh man, I'd run it. Yeah, you can run it, but it's here. We can fix it for you.
you know it's right.
And know that it's right instead of put it in there and like, y'all hear that? Yeah, that's the bearings.
Yeah.
Because you know that car's got some tight bearings.
Oh, stop. Stop. You've been on it for years now. There she is, all cleaned up, line honed, ready for assembly. That's on me now.
Yes.
What are y'all thoughts? Are you guys gonna come and stand while it's on the dyno here and see if it slings the rods out?
No. We'll hear it inside.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll hear it.
All right. Well, regardless, I'm gonna blame the line hone for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Whatever happens to it was Zach's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Damn, all right, guys, if we can get a knife sharpener up here.
I'll stab him. This is a gigger right here. This ain't made for cutting. It'll get you.
Oh, man. Big shout out to everyone here at TKM Performance.
He's just going to take it.
Yeah, no, I'm going right down the road.
In 3 minutes when he gets to the house. It'll be all right.
I'm probably gonna cut it open and look at it at cookout, and then let some dirt get in there on the way back.
Can you let your airbags down?
Not no more. Not no more. It's illegal now.
Hey, as long as you let the cylinders rust and not the line hole, I'm good.
We can swing this out and not even have to pick it up.
If John can back, I mean,
I can back up. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this video. A big shout out to everyone here at TKM Performance. The emergency hotline. I can't release the information on that, can I?
No.
Can't release
When
it.
that hotline blinks,
All right, guys.
can't do it.
That's gonna wrap up today's video. Check out TKM Performance for all your needs, your Go Fast parts, everything. Links down in the description below. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.